Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Santai Talk. It's been a while since we recorded one of our episodes. We took a long hiatus, but now we're back. Joining me is Jacelyn.
Hey everyone!
As last time you know her. Jacelyn, tell me, what are we gonna talk about this time?
We are going to be talking about the GE15
Yeah, so
and what has happened to Malaysia in the past few weeks.
it's actually just been a week since GE. So I'm sure a lot of people like still very confused, right? Like what happened after GE? Like everyone was saying different things, and then the situation was changing so fast that it's very hard for anyone to keep track of what's happening. So let's start with the basics, right?
Yeah.
So Jacelyn, do you know how many like competing parties were there in GE15? And yeah,
This is going to be so dumb. Okay, well, I'm going to sound so dumb.
okay,
So basically, there's Pakatan Harapan.
okay, that's one.
There's Perikatan Nasional.
Oh, you know about them, huh?
Yes, I do.
Because a lot of people, they were confusing them with BN. Like, aren't they BN? Because the flag is blue, the logo sounds the same, and
yeah, the sound of it actually sounds
looks
the same.
Yeah.
And then there's Barisan Nasional.
Yeah, Barisan Nasional. There's three.
There's the GPS and the GRS, but those are for like Sabah Sarawak side.
Yeah. Did you know what GPS and GRS stands for?
Gabungan Dono Rakyat Sarawak and Sabah, maybe? I don't know.
GPS stands for Gabungan Parti Sarawak.
Oh, Gabungan Parti Sarawak.
And then GRS stands for Gabungan Rakyat Sabah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
close enough.
Close enough. And then, did you know there's one more party?
Oh, this is the Najib. No, this is the Mahathir one.
Yeah, the one that got
Warisan.
No.
What's the other one?
Warisan is a Sabah party, but they actually tried
it's called Pejuang.
Yeah, they actually tried to. Warisan is a Sabah party, but they tried to come into Peninsular. As you know, and it didn't really work out well for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's Pejuang. So Pejuang is Mahathir's party, and they contested in almost all the seats.
Yep.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
and lost very badly.
They didn't do very well in the GE. So after the GE, Pakatan had the highest number of seats won. I think it's about 82 or 83. I've forgotten
82.
82. Then Perikatan, I think, had about 73.
73.
Yeah. Okay, so then Barisan Nasional has 30 seats, right?
Yeah.
Then Sabah Sarawak have like GPS has about 23, and then GRS I think has about 6. Yeah, so it's about all the minor seats. So as you know, we need about 112 to form a majority to form a government, but none of them had like majority, right?
Yes.
So what did you think they did? Like
they had to do a coalition and stuff so that like you can form majority.
Yeah, so you have to like work together with other parties, right, to form that majority. However, so you know, now there's this like anti-party hopping law that you cannot like just jump from one party to another party in order to change the government or something like that.
There was doing a meme about like the kata or something like that, right?
Yeah, so back then it was a very endemic issue that lawmakers are just jumping parties, and then governments are not stable at all.
Yeah.
So they implement the anti-hopping law, and you cannot jump parties anymore. So, however, the second largest party, which is Perikatan Nasional, they were the first party that immediately jumped into forming coalitions with other people. So immediately they went to BN. So this is according to what I saw on the internet, right? It's like all hearsay, like people sharing on Twitter. He immediately went to other parties like BN and GPS to form coalitions from them. And how he forms coalition from them is by asking all these lawmakers to sign a statutory declaration, an SD. Like, do you know what an SD does?
No.
So an SD is like a legal document that sort of prove your support to a certain person. So these lawmakers, they sign an SD for Muhyiddin, the chairman of PN. So Muhyiddin managed to get all the SDs from his own party, and then he was also working for from SDs from about 10 lawmakers in BN. And then I think he also got like support, like a verbal confirmation of support from the GPS party. So altogether, I think they already have like about 114 seats.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so
with Bersatu and UMNO making 103 and 23 from GPS, they would definitely have the majority already, actually.
Yeah, so in hindsight, right, they did not form the government. So what did you think happened?
The king came in.
No.
I said no.
Yeah, you can say that sort of, because actually here's the problem. He submitted all the SDs to the king, right? To the palace, because all you need is 112, but he got 114. So the problem came when BN suddenly came out and say, hey, what are you guys thinking you're doing? I have not like really agreed to even support you, and now you'd say that I support you. Yeah, BN never really had that had an official position to say that I will support PN to be the next government, because what Muhyiddin did was he approached each of the lawmakers, the members of parliament separately, and he did not approach the president of BN,
which is Ismail Sabri Yaakob, right?
No, the president of BN is Zahid Hamidi.
Oh, okay, sorry. This one is UMNO.
Yeah. So that's why, because with the anti-hopping of party law, members can't make like a decision on their own, right? But it's a gray area like now, because they say members of parliament have the free will to make their own decisions, but at the meantime, with the party hopping law, they had to also abide by party's direction and sentiment. So I'm in this aspect, it's still not clear. But what happened was Zahid Hamidi made all the BN lawmakers to withdraw their SD for Muhyiddin.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So 114, we drove 10, so he only had 104. so now he's back to square one. Yeah. So what happened next was, according to hearsay also, it was on Twitter. So BN officially met with Pakatan leaders as well at the what was the hotel name? Siri Pacific Hotel, right?
Oh.
So they met at Siri Pacific Hotel to discuss a possibility of forming a unity government.
Yeah.
So unity government. Do you know what's a unity government?
Basically, they join together to run the country, right?
That's a coalition, but a unity government specifically is when a government that comprises of all parties in the country. So it doesn't matter whether you are opposition, whether you are government, whether you are NGO or whoever not, as long as you're a stakeholder in politics of this country, you can join this unity government.
Oh, I see.
So So Anwar proposed a unity government, and I'm not sure what's the terms of the deal with BN, but BN met with Pakatan leaders at Sri Pacific Hotel. I think it was a quite fruitful meeting for them. Then later after that, PN was actually trying to get an official meeting with UMNO or BN people, but unfortunately it kept getting delayed, probably due to some misalignment of events, because during the same time they were supposed to meet, right, the king called them to the palace and asked them for a personal meeting with the king. So because of that, PN had a very hard time getting an official meeting with BN people.
Yeah.
So
but okay, I've got one question.
Yeah.
Do you think that the king was playing around with them, trying?
No, I don't think
to make sure that.
I don't think the king was trying to. I think what the king was trying to do was set up a very stable and a long-lasting government. Like, the last thing we want to happen is a repeat of what happened in the last 5 years, right? Where every 2 years the government changed. So it, in effect, that causes a lot of uncertainty, and uncertainty is very bad for business.
Yes.
And as you know, the stock market didn't do very well the last few years, and then business were not very good as well. Property prices were declining. It was not really declining, but the supply of property is increasing, and there was a glut, and demand was very low. So the entire economy was not doing very well, right? And people are not sure whether if they want to invest in Malaysia as well, because the government kept changing, the environment kept changing.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the king wanted a more stable, more sustainable government. And
Definitely.
then I'm not really sure what are the details between Anwar and Zahid Hamidi's relationship. But somehow they managed to work it out, and Zahid Hamidi declared his support for Anwar after their meeting with the king. And that was also after they have finally met with the PN leaders after their I guess it's just a misalignment of event, right? Like, BN leaders met with the king first, then only met with PN leaders. So it's like, I already met with the king, and probably during that meeting with the king, I have already like declared support for PN.
Yeah.
I mean, not PN. Declare support for PH. Yeah, PH. And then after that, I only come and meet you. So it's already
too late.
Yeah, it's already too late, right? So after BN have met with PN leaders, BN finally came out with official statement saying that I'll declare support for Anwar's unity government. So that was then Anwar was proclaimed the 10th Prime Minister of Malaysia.
It's finally after waiting for so many years, it's finally his turn to get on board.
Exactly. Like, he has been waiting for 25 years. Like, I think over 20 years, not 25, 20 years, because when the last he was closest to be like prime minister he was deputy prime minister for
Mahathir, right?
Mahathir, yeah. So Mahathir, I don't know for what reason, he was prosecuted, and removed from UMNO.
He stepped on the wrong shoes.
Probably, but he was removed as deputy prime minister by Mahathir, and then he was prosecuted with a number of charges, but that was already but it was not relevant anymore, I think. But he went to jail, for 11 years. Yeah, and then after
sodomy and another charge.
Yeah, so then that was the first time. Then the second time was in 2018 when Pakatan won the general election, GE14.
Yeah.
But Mahathir was at the helm again, and this
Yes.
time Mahathir, I don't know what Mahathir was trying to do, but he resigned as prime minister.
He dissolved the whole entire. He started the dissolving of all the parties or something of the.
Yeah, he resigned.
Party, right?
He resigned as prime minister, and I think Mahathir was trying to form a unity government back then. So it's like, because UMNO and BN was declaring support for Mahathir, then Pakatan was declaring support for Mahathir as well. But in came suddenly Muhyiddin.
Yeah.
And passed, and a few members of parliament from PKR. That's how they formed PN, right? So through the Sheraton move.
Yes.
So suddenly PN became the next government, and then Anwar was sidelined again. And I believe partially it's also Mahathir's mistake, right? Like, he shouldn't have resigned as prime minister, I think.
To be honest, I think he could have been actually power playing at the back, and you never know what was his actual true intentions. Maybe he never wanted Anwar to go up.
Who knows, right? Like,
yeah,
probably like there are a lot of speculation. Some people just speculating that maybe Mahathir is afraid of Anwar, what he will do when he's prime minister because of all the things that he have done to him previously. Some speculation is also because of his son, Mukhris Mahathir, because Mukhris Mahathir is, in terms of politics and influence, he's still relatively new and still not that powerful yet as a figure.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of speculation, but we will never know what's really the true reason. But there is definitely some reason Mahathir is trying to hold Anwar back, right? So that's why when Mahathir was again, I mean, you gotta talk about karma, you know, like, he was sacked by his own party, Bersatu, sometime in 2000. Sometime after the Sheraton move, he was actually removed from his own party, and Muhyiddin took over Bersatu, and that's where he found Perjuang, right? So
about karma.
So yeah, like you remove other people, then you yourself can now get removed. And I'm not sure what Mahathir was actually planning for during GE15, because his goodwill, political goodwill with the people was quite low after that, because he resigned as a prime minister, and in the you can actually say he may be the number one root cause for the government to be unstable for the past 4 years, because if he were not to resign and remain as prime minister, even though if he doesn't want to yield the position to Anwar, he could still remain as prime minister, and the PH government could still be intact until GE15. So it was because he resigned and he's trying to form a unity government with him as the new prime minister. It was because of that caused that gave an opportunity for Muhyiddin to come in and form a new alliance with PAS and BN to form the new government, right? Yeah. So now Mahathir with Perjuang, his new party, I think in his mind he's still thinking he had a lot of like goodwill and influence with the local Malay demographic. That's why he tried to like fight for all the seats, right? In hindsight, it looks like a really bad move, because he lost all the deposits in all the seats he fought in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything was what. Even to be honest, I actually expected Langkawi to actually vote for him, because he's been with Langkawi for so many years.
Yeah, like,
but like for him to lose at his own turf is outrageous.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of huge upsets, right, in this GE15. Like, there are a few famous politicians, lawmakers, that did not even participate in this GE. Like Charles Santiago was a very famous DAP lawmaker that did not get chosen to fight in this general election.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then there's a few more like strong names that did not join, so they were sidelined. I couldn't remember all their names, but that was the first upset. Initially I was thinking like, why would you remove all this like famous and strong politicians, which has already like garnered a lot of goodwill with the people,
Yeah.
right? Why would you want to remove them? Probably it's due to Undi 18, right? It's when the people who are 18 years old and above
Yeah.
can finally start to vote, like 18 to 21 range, and that itself, right, open up the voter count. Increase the voter count by up to 40%, I think.
Wow, there are
Yeah.
so many people in that block.
Yeah, so from only like about 4 or 5 million, I think. I forgot how many were there eligible voters. Now there was 7 million eligible voters. So I think that also changed the dynamic a lot, because we were expecting before the election, right? We were expecting PN to only like have like 10 seats, and then pass maybe 14 to 15 seats, because they were very strong in Terengganu and Kelantan.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. Like, or pass in Terengganu and Kelantan is like they are the incumbent. They were in
Yeah.
power for a very long time in there, and people were happy with them.
Yeah.
So, but we were expecting BN to win most of the seats.
True.
We were expecting BN to, because BN had a huge momentum going to GE15, right? They won Sabah. Is it Sabah? They won Sabah. They won Sarawak.
Not really. I don't think they G15. I don't think they actually won Sabah Sarawak.
No, not GE15. Before GE15, the state elections. Remember?
Okay.
They won
Yeah.
They won Johor as well. They won
Yes.
Malacca.
Yeah.
So they had a huge and strong momentum going into G15. So we were expecting BN to win most of the seats, right? But surprisingly, BN still lost, and they only garnered like 30 seats, which most of the 30 seats are their stronghold, the
Yeah.
seats that has always been the stronghold of BN.
True.
Yeah, so it was quite an upset. PN actually had 70 over seats. PAS itself has 44 seats. They are the largest party.
Yeah.
In terms of in terms of seats, PAS is the largest party, followed by, I think, DAP, was it? Had 40 seats.
Followed by DAP.
Yeah, had 40 seats, and then
DAP, yeah.
so it was very surprising. And PN, BN only had 30 seats, so it was kind of like a huge upset. And more surprisingly so is that majority of the new voters actually voted for PAS.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
they didn't know what. Okay, so I was told there was a YouTube video
Uh-huh.
trying to educate the new generation what PAS was, or what this Perikatan Nasional was. But everyone apparently just thought it was a very cool logo and flag and color, so they bought it. That's why they went for Perikatan Nasional.
So the more
That's what I heard.
so the moral of the story is to get a really cool logo and a flag.
And the new generations will fall for you.
No, I mean, we can't
Yeah.
say that. I'm sure there are smart people and
Yeah, I mean,
younger
some
people
of
as
them,
well.
I mean, in the sense that a lot of Malaysians still do not get themselves educated before they actually vote for a certain party. And this is where a lot of like I mean, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of people who actually like know what is going on and everything. But at the same time, there are also a lot of people who are uneducated about what's going on. That's how
Yeah.
a lot of them fall into traps of voting for the wrong, or maybe
I agree
not
with
say
you.
voting for wrong, but not understanding the political insights as to what will happen if certain people get into power, or what
Yeah.
are the
I mean, I agree with you up to a point, because yes, people some people are still not very educated in terms of politics and what are the implications when certain parties are in power. But I also want to say that there's actually a lot of misinformation out there, because the social media is very prolific nowadays, like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and whatever not, right? So people can just spread information in a snap of a finger. Doesn't matter that information is true or not. So there's a lot of misinformation out there, and people, believe it or not, right? Like political parties, they love to use social media. Normally you will see people share positive things about their party, but I think social media is being also used even more widely to spread negative things about their opponents, their enemies who are fighting against them in this power play.
Yeah, and you don't even know whether it's true or false.
Yeah, you wouldn't know whether it's real or not, and it's up to the viewers, right, with their emotions to decide,
and their own judgments.
Yeah, to decide whether if it's a real thing, whether they want to believe it or not. And unfortunately, some people with their emotions, they chose to believe certain misinformation. Yeah, so that's why this is still an issue, right? It's still a huge issue, and I believe from this GE15, right, since most of the young voters are on TikTok, right? Does any young people still uses Instagram and Facebook?
They still do.
Instagram still do, right? Like a lot of young
but
people
not
still
really on
use Instagram.
Facebook.
Facebook not really.
Yeah.
But TikTok is like quite
a new thing.
Yeah, it's quite popular among the young people, right? Maybe it could be like another topic for another episode, but yeah, like you can see a lot of political parties using TikTok as a platform to reach out to these young voters. How successful is that? I'm not sure.
Well, I was actually on TikTok and I actually saw like how what's the Muda guy's name again?
Said Sadek
and Hannah Yo were like using TikTok to actually teach people about parenting, about the young generation and stuff like that. And remember how at one point of time they were saying that, okay, you know what's wrong with having Blackpink come to Malaysia and all this. So they were using that to tell parents like, hey, you know, at the end of the day, you know, you shouldn't stop your kids from enjoying their life. Last time it could be don't know which celebrity that you were into. Now their generation is just Blackpink and BTS and all.
Yeah. I think TikTok is a very good platform to
educate,
get people interested in certain topics, but like real actual education, I still think social media platform with longer video formats, I think that, like YouTube, I think that will be the better platform to do it. But I mean, since most people attention span on social media are pretty low, right? So I guess you can only be happy with what you can get. Yeah, so what else do you still want to know about this GE15? And
so right now, I'm guessing, or at least from what's going on with the media and everything, Anwar is the PM, right? Let's summarize. Anwar's the PM.
Yeah.
He formed a unity party with Barisan Nasional.
Let's come back to the more recent news. So after Anwar has been sworn in as the 10th Prime Minister, several parties have come out to give support to Anwar. So the first party was definitely BN to lend their support. That's how he managed to become the 10th Prime Minister. Then GPS also followed in BN's footstep to lend their support to Anwar. Warisan and GRS has also recently, I think it was yesterday, declared their support for... I think Warisan has declared their support for PH for quite some time now, but GRS had just declared their support yesterday, I think. So totaling the number of MPs supporting Anwar, I think is about 140 now.
Oh, okay. I didn't expect GRS.
Yeah.
GPN.
Do you know what's the relationship between GRS and PN?
GRS and PN are still somewhat Muhyiddin still controlling somewhat of it, right?
So let me give you a brief background about GRS and how they were formed. So GRS was actually formed by Muhyiddin. He was one of the founding members. And Muhyiddin actually went to Sabah and formed Bersatu Sabah branch.
Okay.
And at the helm of Bersatu Sabah, I think it was this man named Haji Noor, and he was the leader for this GRS coalition. So they formed this coalition with several local parties. I think PBS, I think it was called Parti Bersatu Sabah or something like that. So
Okay.
they formed, and several minor parties, they formed GRS. And this GRS is somewhat like a sister coalition to PN.
Yeah.
So Muhyiddin had a lot to do with their formation and how they came about. So I was expecting GRS to stay loyal to Muhyiddin and to stay as an opposition. Yeah, but somehow Haji Noor came out and say that they will participate in the unity government. So yeah, like that's some more recent news. And then Anwar is going to table as the his first motion as prime minister during the next assembly of the parliament.
Yeah.
So the first motion is to vote of confidence on Anwar as the 10th prime minister. Do you know what is a vote of confidence?
Basically having everyone agree that he should be.
Sort of. So basically a vote of confidence is, shall everyone decide whether he still remain as prime minister or not?
Mm-hmm.
So usually people do that when majority of the parliament believe they have lost confidence in the prime minister, and if the prime minister does not achieve majority vote during that vote of confidence, the prime minister has to step down because he does not have enough support to be the prime minister. So Anwar decided to.
This is actually very scary.
Yeah, so you can say that this is like a how to say, but Anwar had to be really confident, right, to actually do that, because it's like a power play, right? It's like hey, I'll show you how strong I am by doing a vote of confidence.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I really wonder whether there's going to be a fuck up in it.
But like you say, it's really risky, but I doubt it will go on any other way, because Anwar had to be really confident to put his position at risk. But I'm sure he will go through it fine, because since now several parties have already gave their support to Anwar, and then and Anwar, I think, has also promised like the new government gonna be quite inclusive. Like ministers is gonna include parties from all across Malaysia, all Malaysians political parties. So but he did hinted the deputy prime minister, the two deputy prime ministers, will be from one from Sarawak and one from BN.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we shall see. And then Anwar has also said he will not take any salary as a prime minister.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
He did said that. So yeah.
To be honest, if that's the case, if he says he's not taking any salary, he's doing it. Hopefully, there's no corruption involved, and he's just doing this out of his goodness of everything. Yeah, let's just hope for that.
How Anwar's government will turn out, we can only see. Time will tell. Like, hope all the best for his new government. Hope all the best for us, since we have a new government.
I hope, man.
And a new hope for us as Malaysians, and a new beginning. Hopefully this will put us on the right track to maybe hopefully beat Singapore in terms of economy and GDP and all sorts, because
Yeah.
that's
But-
like one of our aspirations since very very long time ago. Yeah.
But we still have a long way more to go, regardless.
Yeah.
But it's a step forward. I feel. I hope.
Yeah. So all the best to everyone and all of us,
Yeah.
and especially to Anwar and his new government. We shall all wait and see in full anticipation what his
To see all
next
the
move
changes.
is. Yeah, all the changes. I can't wait. Is there anything else you want to ask before we end the episode?
No.
I see.
But I
Okay.
just want to say, congrats Anwar. Congrats
Congrats.
Pakatan Harapan.
It's just not Pakatan Harapan. It's a unity government. So
Never mind. Congrats
yeah.
Pakatan Harapan for getting most of the Biswat first. You know, we
Okay.
couldn't have done this without you guys. And a unity government probably wouldn't have formed if it wasn't for them winning as
Yeah.
well.
All right. Shout out to all Malaysians. All the best to you guys. Take care. Santai Talk is back. Stay tuned for our next episode, and we shall see you soon. Goodbye.
Goodbye.